Now, I know what you're thinking. We want the Black Lion Audio Revolution versus the Antelope Audio Zen Go. And we're gonna get there, I promise. Matter of fact, it's my next video. But before we get there, we needed to stop here because the SSL2 Plus is the interface that's still on my desk, despite reviewing many other interfaces, some which are even superior, just because of my personal preferences. So, will the Black Lion Audio finally be the interface that makes me switch? Find out today on Jacob Dark Z. Before we get into the video, if you decide to purchase any of the products mentioned in today's video, I'd super appreciate it if you use the links in the description. It not only helps me earn a small commission, but it supports this channel and helps to fund the channel and allows me to buy more products to review for you guys. So if you do, I super appreciate it. Now let's get into the video. The Revolution is definitely no slouch. It's heavy, built like a tank, the knobs feel weighted and have a very smooth feel when turning those dials. But I'm just not a fan of having mic pre's on the front of interfaces where I'm forced to run cables across my desk. Now, because I placed it on the back corner, it works, but I typically like my interfaces to sit right in the center underneath my monitor, and I just can't do that with this interface. The SSL2 Plus, on the other hand, nails it in design by not only having all of the knobs and buttons on the top of the unit making it easy to reach, but they've placed all of the connections on the back so no wires run across the front or sides of the interface. In my opinion, companies should take note and start focusing on this desktop-oriented design. While the SSL has a decent input LED meter, the Black Lion's LED meter is really bright and vivid and not only displays your input, but your output volume as well. Normally, this would be a runaway for the SSL, but the build quality of the Black Lion has made me a fan, so winner, tie. The Black Lion is a simple 2-in, 2-out device that really only has SPDIF over the bare bones essentials. And while they may not have a lot of connectivity, their main focus was on putting together an interface that's pleasing to the ears over specs. But for the sake of this segment, let's dive into the connectivity and see what it has to offer. They both have 2 mic pre-line inputs, they both have 1 set of TRS outputs, and well, that's about it. The SSL2 Plus has 2 headphone outputs, while the Revolution only has 1. In addition to the TRS outputs, the SSL also has a set of mirrored RCA outputs and a second set of RCA outs. They've also gone in different directions, as the Black Lion has SPDIF while the SSL went with MIDI. Personally, RCAs, MIDI, SPDIF, none of these are things that I would take advantage of, and I'd much rather see an ADAT connection or a second set of TRS outputs for a second set of monitors, but maybe your workflow would take advantage of those things, so for the sake of this video and connectivity, winner SSL2 Plus. Someone call Michael Scott because we're about to talk paper, specifically what's on paper. I'm talking about specs. According to the spec sheet, the SSL has a dynamic range of 112 dB, while the Revolution sits at 106 dB, so naturally, you'd assume that the SSL would sound better, right? So here's the thing, I've gotten completely used to the DAC of the SSL2 Plus, and don't get me wrong, it's fine on its own, but when I've put it up against other interfaces like the Motu M4 and the ID14 Mark II, I do find it to be a little lacking, and once again, that's the case. Except this time, music doesn't just sound better, my monitors actually sound like they're producing more low end, and my sub is pumping out more bass, and it's not even subtle. Even an untrained ear could notice it. All of a sudden, my flat and true sounding HS5s have character. On top of that, the headphone amp on the Black Lion is one of the best I've heard in any interface, hands down. This one's too easy, winner Black Lion. I've been uploading to YouTube for years now, very part-time-ish, just every now and then, and for the first time I'm giving it my full undivided attention to try to give you guys consistent quality content. So if you find today's video helpful, I'd super appreciate it if you gave this channel a subscribe and hit that notification bell to help my channel reach its full potential and be all it can be. If you do, I super appreciate it. Now let's get back to the video. Before we get into the preamps, let's run a latency test and see how they compare. Using RTL utility, I found the SSL performed slightly better at lower sample rates, while the Revolution performed better at sample rates I actually use, like 256 and 512. That being the case, this one's too close to call. Winner, tie. Because I don't have two of the same microphone and two computers to be able to do the same take at the same time on both interfaces, I'm going to do two separate takes, but I'll try to keep them as close as I can for this vocal test. So I'm going to be totally random here because the point of this segment is vocal quality and not what I'm actually talking about. So how many of you are excited for the upcoming HBO Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon? I mean, I want to be, but I fall into that large category of people who felt so let down by the ending that it just killed all momentum. Such a shame for a series I was sure was going to be the best series in human history. That said, it's House Targaryen for life. So I'm going to be totally random here because the point of this segment is vocal quality and not what I'm actually talking about. So how many of you are excited for the upcoming HBO Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon? I mean, I want to be, but I fall into that large majority of people who felt so let down by the ending that it just killed all momentum. Such a shame for a series I was sure was going to be the best series in human history. That said, it's House Targaryen for life. So I'm going to be totally random here because the point of this segment is vocal quality and not what I'm actually talking about. So how many of you are excited for the upcoming HBO Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon? I mean, I want to be, but I fall into that large majority of people who felt so let down by the ending that it just killed all momentum. Such a shame for a series I was sure was going to be the best series in human history. That said, it's House Targaryen for life. And there you have it. No EQ, no compression, no artificial preservatives, just raw, uncut, straight vocals into the preamps. So let me know, which did you prefer? Now, as far as I go, I actually like them both. We all know the SSL's preamps are the reasons that it still remains on my desk until this day, but for the first time, I found an interface that not only has better DAC, but has preamps to match the quality of the SSL2 Plus. So in this case, I really like the preamps in both devices, so once again, winner, tie. To recap, the SSL has better connectivity, they both have good latency, they both have really nice pre's, but the fact that I can now get a great preamp with amazing DAC tips the scale in the favor of the Revolution, and after many interface reviews, the SSL2 Plus has finally been bumped from my desk. Winner, Black Lion Revolution. Now look, if you don't need all of those connections, you can skip right over the SSL2 Plus and go for the base SSL2, and you'll still get that good DAC and those really nice quality character preamps with that 4K button for only half the price of the Revolution. But if absolute top quality is what you're after, the Revolution is the ticket. that's going to do it for today. So as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be alerted each time I upload more content. So until next time, thank you for watching, stay tuned, and have a great day.